Probably.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Hamsters Hobby Hang, coming to you for the first time in the production room.
Well, second time, but the first time.
Oh, right.
Where we actually have
This is the first time we
titular
actually hamster
hamster.
here.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that one. But
Yeah,
you know,
it did not go well.
so there was a trial. There was a trial.
There was a trial period that did not go well.
She was
Okay.
missing some of that hamster flair, you know?
Yeah.
Well, this show was nice because it was sustainable through the quarantine, but now we're really kind of bumping it up, and already we're doing what it was kind of meant to do, where we got a couple guys in the office that just wanted to hang out, and they're able to jump in with us, which is kind of what I was hoping in the first place, you know what I mean? So we have Miles, we have Tyler, both welcomed back on the Hobby Hang, and man, this is just what I imagine. Just hobbyists literally hanging out at a table, enjoying ourselves. So thanks for hanging with us. And thank you for setting up this this lovely stream setup, Chris.
Yeah, no problem. I'm excited about it because the whole point is that we're trying to find easily repeatable setups that function for a lot of different things.
Yeah.
So that we can be more efficient with both video and live production. And so this setup right here, it works with the Hobby Hang. It's also potentially something we can do for when we're doing tabletop games with multiple
Awesome.
people. And so we're kind of dry running that right now. Obviously there'll be some differences. So general idea for the cameras at the moment is so our beautiful faces are up here in the top boxes. Bottom left is just kind of to see what's on the table and see our hands like working on things and all that. And then the middle is a spot with a Lazy Susan. So if somebody puts something bigger on the Lazy Susan, we can do that and spin it around.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love that it spins.
Yeah, and we can go to here if we need to. I love that it spins.
I like the spinny thing. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
I like that it has the simple function that it's always had.
Yeah, but not on a stream. This is
Right.
production value. This is the definition of production value.
Yeah. So that's the general idea. And we're gonna be working to like optimize it. Looking at it now, in the future I'd probably put a longer lens on the DSLR, but I'm not gonna worry too much about it now. It's tricky, right? It's trying to like spot. These things are so small. I'm trying to get it set up in a way where we don't have to like heat up and manually change the DSLR.
Yeah,
because
right.
with On the Anvil, we've got somebody who's like running tech for the stream.
Yeah, sure.
But here we don't want somebody to be like running tech, so
Yeah.
we have to like get up and go over there and like do that whole thing. We'd love for it to be like a plug and play.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
that?
It's Amy?
This is Amy, yes.
Oh, nice.
This is Amy's Cosmos of the Soul.
Yeah, this was supposed to be a pretty low maintenance show, so in true Dwarven Forge fashion, it is now growing out of proportion.
I don't think it's growing out of proportion. I think it's the okay. So here's what I was trying to tell Chris the other day. I was trying to tell him that I was like, look, you can keep the same feel.
Yeah,
You can
for
do the
sure.
exact same thing that you're doing, but you can do it here.
That's true.
You can do it with some, stable mics, some stable equipment, some stable internet, all these other things together, and we're all, like you said, this was the original intention.
Yeah, right.
Everybody actually at the table with each other.
Now, it did keep me sane over the quarantine to do it.
It's not saying that the past ways
Right.
was the bad
Well,
way.
and that's
And you can't argue that everything looks better with the backdrop.
and the backdrop.
I don't think the backdrop's in it at
Barely
all.
visible. There's more blue happening than in my bedroom.
It's true.
There's just not a
That's
lot
for
of.
sure.
It's because there's not.
Cardboard boxes behind me.
It's because there's
You know?
there's not a lot of anything happening in that bedroom.
You're not wrong.
But it's that exchange. It's that exchange right there. That exchange right there, more organic,
Yeah. it'll be
capable
fun.
of being heard.
Sure.
And three, it's the nature of an actual conversation.
Yeah.
Merc says the show is growing into proportion.
There you go. That's true. We were like, oh god, this is like our only show idea that we can sort of do remote, and now it's finally its true version.
Well, it means that you can always do it remote.
Yeah, right.
Well, and that's and that's been the thing, right? Is like this was made as a way to take the painting setup that we had and try to figure out how to still do a painting show without us being in the office and having the DSLRs and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But you know, there were different vibes about it. So when we got in here, it's like, okay, we need to have the lights set up in an appropriate way where like everybody can still be visible, and all that jazz. And the first time didn't go great. All that jazz. So that's the thing. So the goal was always to get this to a point where we could do it in the office so that people could drop in and drop out based on who was around
And
and
now we
just wanted to do stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the best part.
And then Casey,
I do love
Casey got the lights to a point this week where I was like, I think we can do this.
Yeah.
And so we're doing it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm just grinning. This feels so professional. I mean, like I've done stuff in here before, but I
But
don't
this
know.
is your show.
Well, I like
Your
haven't
name's-
been
your
in here in a
name's
while.
the name.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Names in the name.
Yeah, you've got top
Yeah.
billing here.
No, it sounds wrong, but it is right.
It is correct. It grammatically makes sense. It, you know, and the story, I'd follow it.
Sure.
It feels wrong.
Gilly Poison says, let's be honest, if you know tech, you're always going to be running tech. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
At least
That's
you're
fair.
paid for it, you
That's
know?
Yeah.
Like, guys.
That's kind of the reality of
I
it.
also, if you chose tech, you have job security.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like,
That's fair.
Yeah, like
they're always gonna find somebody who's willing to say a line.
sometimes it is the tech guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the guy off to the side who's like, hey, key grip.
right. Get in here, get in the shot.
Why my parents named me Key Grip?
Do you remember it?
Oh, he knows the line already.
Did you guys all see
It's a
Mandalorian?
reality show.
Did you see Mandalorian where there's a guy in the background in like a t-shirt?
say whatever you
No.
Yeah, there's this dude like,
That reminds me of Pirates of the
what's up?
I think I was too distracted
In-
by the armor.
In one of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, there's a crew member in like a boater hat, just like standing behind, like completely unaware, and he's just like looking out over the like they're having like a scene on the boat, and so they're all like, oh, doing their acting, whatever, and he's just like he's got his hands in his he's got his hands in his cargo shorts, his sunglasses, and boater hat, and he's just like looking out over the water. It's pretty nice out here. Like, it's great.
That's awesome.
Also, I can run tech when I have nothing to doodle. Oh, Mace? Yeah, sure, but you've got a lot of other things you've got to do.
Literally.
Oh, Miles is in chat.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I thought about doing it, but my phone's dying.
He has /had a page on Wikipedia. Well, actually, the nice thing is, if you need to charge your phone, we've got a ton of USB-C chargers on the wall over there.
All of you.
They're for the lights, but all the lights are currently charged. So it's, Yeah, we've been-
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, you got it right here. Look at that. My middle name is Key Grip, Mason.
what are we working on today? Let's actually get to that. Also, let me know if there's anything weird with the audio balance. I'm trying to make it so that I've tried to set it up so that we can hear the music and you can hear the music without it bleeding into the mics. Let us know if anything's drowning anything else out.
And I've already thought
I'll
about.
adjust it.
I'm sorry if I've blown out your ears when I've laughed or something.
I've been watching. We very rarely peaked.
Okay, good.
No, Mace. There really is. Mace had to do some dog sitting today. Otherwise, she would be here.
Yeah.
So she'll usually be here.
Yep.
Just couldn't do it this week. Oh, so then the other thing is this camera is also set up. If we do get more people, we can do this and have people sit at that end of the table.
And there's the backdrop. See?
Yeah. So since we currently only have 4, we're doing this setup.
And
You can
yeah,
just see
Toby's
our
also on
magic.
vacation right now.
Yeah,
too, so
Oh, right.
yeah. Toby's on vacation. Mace is dog sitting, but I guess if they were here, that would be our 6th, and we'd have 2 people on that end of the
Yeah,
table.
we need a big old.
It'd be a lot. We'd be sharing paints.
No, I guess we.
Yeah.
This isn't a space.
What are we working on?
Well, you've got a miniature right here.
Oh yeah, I don't know if I'm doing this one actually.
Oh, okay.
So I've
they're
got
from the same like.
I've got 2 more. So I got 2 more of those Kraken ship miniatures. This is the Grimmelkind Bard. He's got his little hat out, and he's got a lute on his back, and a rapier. I've also got another Grimmelkind. This is like a lion paladin. So he's got a very heroic pose, leaning forward and all that. His mane's like blowing in the wind. So that one seems fun. I've also got a PC I want to play at some point. The Eldritch Foundry Mini. This is a shifter ranger I want to play at some point.
Sick.
The whole thing is I wanted to be a Beastmaster, which I know isn't optimal from a gameplay standpoint. But the idea is she'd be a Beastmaster Ranger. She's a cat folk shifter, Swift Stride or whatever. But like, so she would shift into a big cat basically. She would be deaf, and she would have a hunting dog companion who is blind.
Oh,
and so
cool.
they'd be like a hunting like duo.
Dude, that's
that way.
awesome. That's really
Yeah.
sweet.
And I thought it'd be fun to have like Miles teach me ASL and just like genuinely
That'd be
have to
sick.
only be able to communicate like
There's
through
also
actions and
some other
ASL.
things too that I'm not doubting Miles is capable of. I'm saying like, yeah, there's a couple of programs that like actually like teach it and teach it well. And
That is such a cool idea.
Yeah.
And that kind of made me think of last night I was, gaming with my cousins and they were talking about this dinosaur game that's like co-op survival, but there's no text or voice chat. You can only communicate with your species with like calls.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
You have to recognize the call.
Yeah.
I also
And then the it's herbivores and carnivores, so there's players on each side trying to get the others. Yeah.
That sounds sick.
I also
I'm having a lot of trouble.
have two more of the dark sword miniatures. I have a sloth cleric over here who's got like a mace and a buckler, and then like a fox shaman. So I want to do those at some point. I think they'll be fun. I don't currently have a game for them, but like when we go back to doing, I did this Redwall one shot before, and I've been working on like a rule set to be able to just do like a Redwall campaign basically, and I feel like these would be really nice to have when that starts. So yeah, got a couple things I want to do.
Yeah, Darksword has a lot of great anthropomorphic
It's
minis.
the best anthropomorphic animals I've seen.
Yeah.
I did a bunch of them for the game we did with Asians Represent a couple weeks ago. So I
Oh,
did like
cool.
I did one of their turtles. I did squirrel. The squirrel bard is very good. There's a lot of
If
good
it's
stuff.
bad, just start over.
Yeah, just paint over
I
it.
have. It's not your
Um,
fault. I have a whole comment on that. Don't worry.
Let's see.
Say it now.
Well, so first of all, Topulus, pretty much every Eldritch Foundry mini that we have has had that sparkly look. I think it's just how it's printed.
it's the
And
material
once
that
you
prints it up.
prime it and stuff, obviously you know this. It'll be totally
What it
fine,
is
but
though,
yeah.
I like it though. Like I really like this material. Like it takes paint really well.
Okay.
I really like that. I've painted a couple of these now. They take paint really well, and what it is like it's. I think the reason it's like sparkling is like they give it like a kind of bumpy texture, and it makes it look less flat when it's
Sure.
painted.
Sure.
But like I find that like when you actually paint it, like
Okay.
it comes
cool.
out really well.
'Cause-
There's some of my favorite to paint.
You know what?
material
That is interesting because when I obviously Hereford is like a really great tool, but when I've seen their minis, they do kind of come out a little flat, right? So maybe it is a nice touch on it.
He's telling
Let-
secrets. He's
let
telling
me-
secrets.
Are you doing sign language to Mace right now?
Yeah. Yeah, she was in
All
chat
right.
saying, yeah.
So here's the thing about mixing paints, right? This is why I brought these because I didn't know what colors I wanted to paint with them. These paints are one pigment only. So you would think we all know how to mix blue, red, and yellow, right?
Yeah.
This is not just red. That's
No.
not just blue. There's a bunch of random butt pigments. Almost said a bad word. In these
Say
colors,
ass.
right?
I think we've established
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
say ass.
I'm genuinely not sure that random butt is better.
Yeah.
if we're worried about people's kids like copying us, I think giving
Random
them
butt.
I think giving them permission to say random butt
Random
pigment
butt.
is not
Hey, that's okay with a hamster.
Chimera colors.
Or you use that one.
Topulus says Chimera color is good.
Yeah. So I have the chimeras, but any like single, like just even not even miniatures paints, but like art store paints. Sometimes the good ones like will list just the one pigment, and you know it's just one. And so that's what I mean. What I mean is like it's not your fault. It's like in one of these there's something that is like complementary to the other, so it's gonna make it great. That's all hobby paints.
Miles,
All the Games Workshop and all that will do that.
it's not your fault.
Yeah, and I know that. Honestly, I wasn't really because I bought these paints pretty like in a hurry.
Yeah.
Because like I usually do use like my mom gave me some of her old acrylics, and it is
Yeah.
just like really good for mixing because she only uses red, yellow, and blue.
Right.
But like even looking at as I was mixing these, I was looking at this blue, and I'm like, yeah, that's not what I'm looking for.
You dropped the
Like
base.
I need a good like phthalo blue or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Like something that's gonna be like this is obviously like really light. Like this has a little more like yellow in it than I would want.
Yeah, just like I probably just like experiment with the ratios, you know, because like.
And we also have these other paints
you do
too.
have those
yeah,
too.
you know, like we've got the other paints too.
Oh, if you want to throw some interference on the caverns, I got my interference paints here.
It's possible.
Just do it in
I
smaller
show
amounts
you?
because the complement will like make it go gray, and if you don't know like which one it is because we don't know what's in the paint, so like.
Did you see what I put in Slack? Somebody took the crystal caverns, and they put interference over it,
Oh.
and they did solid interference over a lot of it, and then left
Yeah.
cracks.
Okay.
Cracks in it that didn't have black underneath it, so it was like
Sure.
the like kind of sheen over it.
Yeah.
So then when they light it up, like it's wild. Like
That's
it
cool.
looks very very.
That's the cool thing about interference paints is how it behaves differently. It's really transparent, so it'll behave differently based on what's underneath it. So like the black is when it's gonna show up like its color that's listed.
You give it like it gets like a
But then-
super vibrant metallic color. If you
Right.
put it up with black.
But then under a lighter color or even any color, it will start to change a little bit, which is the cool part.
Yeah. So experimenting with it and just learning like how it's gonna come out based on what you have underneath it is fun.
What are you working on?
Yeah, Hamster, what are you working on?
I
We're already 20 minutes into it.
Oh, good.
Let's go.
We're having a good time. We're talking.
have this miniature from a Kickstarter, one of many that I backed over the past couple years. I think it's called Mythic Explorers. A lot of those miniatures were kind of almost like manga or anime inspired, where it's like the real like Final Fantasy giant swords and that kind of thing. This is a little more on the milder end, less exaggerated end. But he's one of the Mythic Explorers, and I just liked all of his cloak action. You know, it's nice to do like flowing fabrics and stuff.
For real though, that's honestly why these are the two Kraken ships miniatures that I pulled out. Was both of them have like the kind of flowing cape thing going on.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I really love
I'd
painting
like
those.
to take my cloak action.
Yeah. I would like to cloak.
Actually, is one of my favorite minor magic items in the book. When they took out when they came out with Xanathar's guide, they added this whole list of just like minor magic items
Yeah.
that just like they don't do anything wonderful,
Yeah.
but they have like a magic quality that's just like kind of silly but like fun.
Right.
And it was to entice players and DMs to like make items that are character driven and like
Right.
give like fun little things to it. And one of it's called the Cape of Billowing. And so like
I love the
as
Cape
a
of
free,
Billowing.
as a free action, you can just like, no matter what, there's no wind. Like your cape
it's
just
a-
billows.
I would love
It's
that.
like kind of a road.
It's a bonus action.
Oh, was it a bonus action? I thought
It's
it was
a bonus action. Yeah, because I built Gino Zabani around
Oh.
the Cloak of Billowing.
Nice.
That was the magic item I took, and I made
Very funny.
and I tried to find ways to use it in combat.
So,
I would spin around and like with my back facing them, like activate the cloaks of fly up in their face, and try to do it to like get advantage, and stuff like that. It was fun.
what about
Bye,
you?
Mace.
What about you, Miles? What are you working on?
I'm trying to paint some terrains, but I'm having trouble mixing the colors I need to paint my terrain.
You've been doing some custom stuff with the caverns. That's cool. Do you have any of the finished pieces with you, or
no,
just the base
I
ones?
was gonna bring one, and then I realized as I left that I didn't bring it.
We need to show you some of the stuff he's
Sorry,
done. He's
Rob.
done some really cool, like interesting stuff with like the veins of metal in the cavern.
Yeah.
This is the best paint in the world. It's golden iridescent copper. The bestest paint ever, and I love it, and I use it all the time. I use it for a lot of my like boxes and stuff, like
Oh,
a lot of
yeah,
my
yeah.
clasps on my boxes and stuff. It's that
Oh yeah, that tracks actually.
Yeah.
Tyler, what are you working on? What copyright infringement are you working on?
Yeah, that's tough.
I'm gonna
That's
be
tough.
going
Oh,
with
that's someone good.
our good old friend.
Oh, you can't. You got to do something legally distinct from that actually.
Oh, there you go.
That actually still sounded like something. I don't know what. We're gonna get sued. We're gonna get sued by somebody. I'm just not sure anymore.
A little Rokubo. I got a set of 4 of these guys, and I just want to see if I can paint them yellow, black, red, and like seafoam.
So it depends which ones you want to cover. Yeah, I guess seafoam.
I want to go. The
'Cause in
gold one
Devon-
is like fine, but like
I think the problem is the gold one is like kind of indistinct from the yellow.
it is. That's what I
Yeah.
mean. It's like I'd
So-
rather just do the classic.
Well, because in Final Fantasy VII, it
Yeah.
was yellow, blue for shallow water, green for mountain, black for both,
and then gold for
gold let you go across deep water.
Yeah.
And everything else.
It's everything.
So-
you basically got to go everywhere. that was the only way to get to somebody's
So yellow, blue,
Or-
green, black.
yellow, blue, green, black. Yeah.
Black's kind of not fun though. You should just do red.
What? No, I want to do black.
Okay.
It's not that it's not fun. I'm just gonna give you some highlights.
That's
See, this
fair.
is what I'm already setting up. I'm trying to say, this is gonna be the base. I'm gonna highlight Canary, and then I'm gonna lantern yellow some of the beak,
Okay.
and then little tiny parts like slight parts, and then I'm gonna gray, blue.
In Final Fantasy 14, I got my chocobo is kind of the standard yellow, but I got the fringes of his plumage to be red. So
The fabled sunset chocobo.
the sunset chocobo, yeah. Chokila sunrise.
Stop.
That's good. That's good. Man, beans.
I'm gonna need more of those Wanderlands if I'm gonna sit
Yeah.
next to you.
Did you on?
Yes.
I mean, how is it?
It's fine.
What are you drinking today, Miles?
Wonderland Nectarine Ale.
Sierra Nevada.
Alcohol is increasingly becoming part of this Twitch channel. Like Nate has now made the like making sure everybody knows what we're drinking that night, like a regular thing up on the anvil.
Oh, good.
Great.
There was one point where he was just like, "Oh, we forgot to tell them what we were drinking." I'm like, "Wait, are we supposed to do that?"
Is that a segment?
was
Was
that?
anything different from the IPA?
Yeah, I'd say it's a little milder, you know, like it's not as sharp, but like it's not crazy. Like it's a nectarine ale. It's
There's no real nectarine
I
in
don't
this.
really.
Tyler,
yeah.
if I did like a bobcat-looking bard
Okay.
or a lion-looking paladin / fighter
Got it.
/ barbarian, not a barbarian, he's got armor on.
He's got armor.
Do you think it's likely that you would use either of these in the game? And if so, which one do you think would be most likely? Because I'll focus on that one tonight.
In your game?
Yeah. So I try to paint based on like what we might actually be
Boy,
using.
that's tough. It's tough. It just depends on if you guys ever wanted to really go through the Lunarian Isles. I would say.
I want to.
Paladin.
See the paladin?
Yeah, I'd
Cool.
say the Paladin.
I was gonna do that one anyways. If you did the bard, I was gonna go like, well, I don't know how to paint him yet, so I'm gonna do this one. I was just trying to get some spoilers.
So it doesn't.
There you go.
He doesn't like playing bards as NPCs. He's never said that. I just haven't seen him do it, so I'm just putting words in his mouth.
Have we ever had a bard in our game? Like nobody's played one, and none of the NPCs.
No.
Well, you've never asked what certain people are.
If Barlow Vidigon is a bard,
No.
I swear to
Ardlo
God,
Vidigon.
No, he's a wizard.
that makes sense. He's a
Yeah.
teacher.
He teaches at Wizard College.
Moral spark.
Really? I can see that actually.
Yeah, they have a.
I always assumed they were a sorcerer.
No, they're.
Huh. Who knows? I'm running an all bard party one shot this weekend.
A bardy, I think you mean.
I finally. Here's the thing. I never got to play in a game with a bard until I did an all bard one shot
That's silly.
with the Vorpal Board guys.
All bard one shot, to me.
All bard, one shot.
Oh,
Thank you. That's exactly the direction I was looking for.
My feeling is an all bard party means you dominate an RP scenario, which is great, and you also do pretty well in battle. It's not that you don't do good in battle. It's like, yeah, you do pretty well.
It really
An
depends
all
on.
paladin party, you dominate combat, and you have a pretty good, and you have the opposite. You have like the domination of the combat field, and then in RP, you actually still do pretty well.
You've got a bunch of high charisma characters.
That's what I'm saying.
Like-
is that it's like it's those two classes are personally some of the coolest to do an all party of.
I still really want us to do
That'd be really fun.
that all fighter.
The all fighter one is also cool, but like it does have a very specific.
It needs a specific.
Yeah.
It relies on the scenario that explains why these fighters are the party, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the easiest kind of party to explain.
An all one
An all party of all, like an all
All
fighter.
party?
An all class?
All party. Party.
An all-one class party is sometimes the easiest to explain.
Yeah, but I think fighters even more so because like group of mercenaries, like fighters and maybe rangers. You know,
Sure.
like if you're just talking about like or like a group of like sellswords,
Yeah.
like just like bandits or like like squadron of people in the army who get separated from their blah blah blah. Like
That's literally the idea behind the campaign I want to do.
yeah, it's like it's easy to make it all fighters in that point. You know,
Am I crazy?
Probably.
like it's weirder to be like,
Is that
no,
gonna-
I make my money playing music, but we're going on adventures now. Like that's weirder than being like, I'm a fighter, we're friends.
Man, so Brandon Lee Mulligan on Dimension 20, they have a series that's called Adventuring Academy, where they just kind of like talk about the game, and he brings on different game runners, and you know he just kind of like they just sit there and talk about making the game, and or playing the game and running the game, all these other things. Kind of like the differences between being a player and being a game runner. And one of my favorite things that he talked about was something similar to that, and I'm gonna have to have you repeat it because I've already lost my thought about why I was bringing him.
We'll be right
Was
back
it
after these
the
messages.
fight. Wait.
Oh, yes, I got it. Fine. That brought me back. He was talking about he was talking about how he was like if you run an experience-based level up system, right? And you only gain experience from like fighting stuff. There is no other option than whatever Wizarding Academy you're at that just says like, oh no, to gain more knowledge and spells, you must go and kill shit. And I was like, wait, what about study? It's like, no, books mean nothing. Go kill things. That's the way to learn more magic. And it's like,
Don't be a nerd.
yeah, it's like it's very true. It's like, oh yeah, I guess that is, and that was always my main problem with like experience-based leveling.
Milestone just makes more sense for most D&D campaigns.
It
Like,
definitely has its place. I'm not against it fully. I gain more advantage by doing
it's the kind of games we play. Also, is like the situations that are going on. Is it's not about fighting all the time. So
Right. Am I crazy? Okay, so this is what I'm asking. This is a darker color, right, than this one? This guy is.
It has more red in it. Yeah, that's what I can tell you. I think darker, a little darker,
Well, I'm saying-
but more. It has more red in it.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
And I appreciate the distinction. I just mean like it is a. I want to use this as a base, and this is more of like a highlighted. Thing.
That'll
I'm
work.
just trying to make sure that like it would actually do the thing I think. It
That'll do.
yeah, the concept behind the all-fighter party. People asking the military unit is like the idea is basically it'd be a military unit that got cut off behind enemy lines essentially, and so it'd be like a survival, like kind of thing, and it would be you've got like the cavalier that was the leader or the battle master that was the leader or something, and potentially that's actually an NPC that dies or they get separated from or something, and so trying to get back to them is
Pull up Mighty Ducks animated series.
yeah.
So
I love the
cool.
dude with the laser sword,
Yeah.
but I'm a chump for badass dudes
The laser sword.
with laser swords and
And
eye
an eye
patches.
patch. Yeah.
Like darker red maroon colors. Like that was the same thing with like Brooklyn and Gargoyles.
Yep.
He was my favorite.
Gargoyles.
He rode a motorcycle. I think the voice actor was also one of my favorite voice actors. So like that was.
He also rode a motorcycle.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
He wasn't even acting. It's like
I think
they just got him recording on a motorcycle.
the planets at the party are all members of a band going to perform at a music festival, Fireball Fest.
Oh, God.
But the village is run by Furby cultists that are kidnapping the revelers and turning them into human Furby hybrids.
Okay. Can I borrow one of these that you're not using?
is that a new like source book that's like a random
that?
IP?
Oh, I don't know which one you weren't going to do.
Yeah, that's
The
fine.
Bonnaroo source book?
I love it.
Oh yeah.
That was the Mark Hamill episode.
Mark Hamill. So
Or I don't want to say Mark. I mean, he was
Yeah.
Even at Miage. Even at Miage. But the festival goes off without a hitch, no chance they get stranded. Well, that's where you got to introduce the survival rules, right? Like the ones that WebDM was talking about, like the limited rations, lack of shelter.
Yeah.
Idea for any all insert class tier campaign. You're all the same person from different reality. Just do Into the Spider-Verse. Yo.
That's actually
Yo.
And you slightly adjust your abilities based on like, well, I mean, yeah, in this universe, like we did. So like that's how you justify being like a different subclass.
That's so cool.
Like your arcane trickster is just like, well, here everybody has magic. Like,
Yeah. That's
that could be
I
interesting.
do love the idea of like just one of them, like everyone's a rogue, and just one of them is a cleric. And in that universe, they got caught, sent to prison, and found religion.
That's
Right.
very
Like,
good.
and that's just the one. The rest of them are rogues.
Or I mean, like, but you could also. I love all one class party with that idea, but you could also still do it where it's like, no, everybody's different classes, but like they're the same person from different, like from different timelines and all the other things.
Do shifters have fur, or do they have regular human skin?
Oh, it's
And then-
imagine something closer to like Wolverine, where they're just like really hairy.
Ew.
Brother.
I don't want to play this
I'm
anymore.
gonna stream.
Brother, stop
You're
it.
so popular, Miles.
Brother, stop it.
Just my brother.
Brother, stop it. Unless you're gonna watch the stream.
Brother,
Brother.
You can talk to me in
Brother.
chat. You don't need to text me.
hello, my name is Brother.
Oh, brother.
I do literally call him brother. It is weird. I know that. I'm aware, but unfortunately
We're
it's
not
habit
making
at
fun
this
of you.
point.
We're not saying that's a weird thing to say.
I was
It's just
kinda
a funny.
So you don't even have to.
It's
I
just a
do
funny
know
way
it's
to say
weird.
Listen.
No, he said, "Okay, sorry."
Okay.
He likes to call and talk about VR with me. It's awesome.
He's like, listen, I wanna play Bridge Crew and
Little
be a good
britches.
bridge guy.
Little
Dragon's
bridge,
captain ability.
little bridge crew.
I mean, not just captain ability. He's so insubordinate.
He is also
He's
very
the
insubordinate.
worst crewman. And I'm not saying I was the best at captaining, but I was.
What about crewman San Diego?
You weren't that. No.
She just like steals your shit and runs off.
Apparently she doesn't, and now she stops thieves in the new
Wait.
one.
What? No,
Wait.
he always was.
Wait,
Carmen Sandiego was always a character that was trying to reveal the truth of history, and she was a.
That
she was
never
a-
landed
He wasn't
Robin.
trying to reveal
She was a
anything.
Robin.
I was trying to look for where she was in the USA.
yeah, that never landed for me as a kid.
Okay, well, I guess you guys don't have imagination.
Where in the
Okay, so
world
you made
is
this. So you
Carmen
made this up.
Sandiego?
Well, to myself, I was always like, yeah, that's obviously what this person's doing. She's like a Robin Hood character.
You just found her attractive, and you were like, no, she's just misunderstood.
Yeah,
She's the
you
good
just found
guy.
her attractive, and you were like, but she'll never be with me.
It's like listen, I was into Carmen Sandiego, but I didn't think she was good because of it. I thought all thieves were good because of it. If she thieves, thieves must be chill. I don't.
That's a terrible. I hate this. I hate this.
This all sucks. Yeah, you're right.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
The bad energy at this table.
Yo, extra credits. Thank you for the raid.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you.
How was your stream? How was your stream?
Yeah. What were you streaming?
Probably video games. Wait, was this are you? Did you just finish a Final Fantasy 14 raid? Stream? I know you play a lot of 14. Or wait, no, it's Thursday. You told Nate you were playing.
It's Thursday.
You told Nate you were playing something that he brought up.
I love something.
You're working through Final Fantasy 7? Yo, we're literally painting chocobos right now.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, Tyler's painting chocobos.
I'm not. Weird
I can
to-
agree on
weird
this.
to-
As long as it's within the color spectrum, you can paint a chocobo.
Yeah?
Yeah, as long as it's within the.
Screw this lion guy. I don't want to paint a chocobo.
Oh,
One of the blue one or the green one?
No way you say my
That's
pain
awesome.
is
We,
lying.
we just
guy.
rescued a bunch of those. Yo! That's my that's one of my favorite parts of 7,
It's a very
honestly,
good-
is the chocobo raising.
Yeah. It's way better. It's way better than Chow.
Shut your mouth.
Yeah?
Chow Garden.
Yeah, I
I
don't,
was just trying to get a rise out of me, and it worked.
All right. Also, you've never played Final Fantasy 7. So.
Alright.
that's also true, yeah. Entirely.
Alright.
I'm playing both sides of this conversation.
And Hamster's
I'm
like,
just happy
I
to
like
be
that.
here.
Yeah.
I like how this spins.
I
Like,
that.
don't
I
even
like
start
that. I like
singing
that
City
as
Escape. I don't.
Guys, look at the lazy Susan.
Hey,
Susan's
great.
great.
It's hard.
Yeah, look at that. Man,
This
the
is a little
the
brighter
jumbo.
than I was hoping. I thought it was gonna be.
Well, you can always wash it.
Yeah, it's just like when I looked at this, I was like, oh yeah, I wanted it actually closer. I think what this one's going to give me, but it's fine. I think it's actually it's gonna work out great.
I love those lazy Susans for big projects. So that one fits just barely underneath the 12 by 12 terrain tray,
Yeah.
which is excellent when we're using a small build in a game and we want to be able to show them multiple angles
Oh, that's cool.
on the camera without having to like. All right, let me just. You know,
Yeah,
like if
yeah.
you just have it on a lazy Susan, you can show everybody like every side of the build pretty easily. Where are you in 7? It's a vanish and get some errands done? No problem. Just wanted to know about your gaming. I love Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
I have a really hard time deciding if I like that or 9 more, but like,
We've had
they're both very different. I think it's the main thing.
Yeah, that's getting a little apple and orangey.
Yeah, you would know.
No, apple and orange are legitimately different fruits. Final Fantasy 7 and Final Fantasy 9 are like. There's a lot of core same things here.
They
They
yeah.
have a very different story.
Well, you know, and like 9 was like the last time they've really gone into the like kind of more pure fantasy focus.
It's definitely drifted more towards as each game goes by, it goes more.
Chapter 14. Oh, you're late game. Final Fantasy 8 is my dark horse favorite. Still never beat it despite starting twice. So you never beat it, but it's your dark horse favorite.
And blades are cool. I don't.
Yeah.
Like,
I will say there's some cutscenes near the end of that game that are phenomenal.
Cutscenes in the beginning, throughout the entire game.
Yeah, I'm just saying like the way like the stuff that it builds to. When I was a kid and I saw those cutscenes without having seen anything else from the game, when I saw like the final chapter cutscenes,
Yeah.
as a kid at my cousin's house, blew my mind.
Scotty.
No, not Scotty. This was at Linda's kids.
Oh,
Linda's kids.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that we've known each other for 12 years.
Include me in your lives. I just want to
We're
love
your
you.
best.
I want to know Linda.
You're best. What the?
Yeah.
We lived together for how long? Yeah. Wife has you doing the dishes. Good.
Good.
That's good.
Dishes gotta get done.
Yeah, man. Hey, man.
What? Do you not want to eat?
Also, I appreciate that you're doing the dish. Yeah, like yeah. She asked you to do something, and you said yes.
I'm hanging, but it's not hobby related.
Okay.
Some people are really into cleaning.
I love cleaning. It's very cathartic.
You just finished the dishes? Oh, well then he doesn't have to do them.
I hate cleaning, but the mess and clutter also fuels my anxiety, so I'm just never content.
You're never satisfied. You're like, don't want to clean it, but it bothers me.
Yeah.
You can't
What's
put
the
it
Good
remedy?
to hear.
What's
The
the
immediate
remedy?
vicinity is, inhabitable or habitable.
I'm far too anxious to clean.
I just try to
Yeah.
not have things. All right, no worries. Thanks for coming. I'm not sure I'm not sure which guy behind extra credits it is. It might be Matt. Bye, Matt, or not Matt, depending on who it is.
Say buy extra credit.
Buy extra credits. That's not anybody's name though.
Right, but that's how you greeted it.
It was Matt. Nice.
Heckums.
The one I've met. the one I have somewhat of a relationship with. All right, have a good one. Thanks for the raid. You'd rather be painting. Well, finish your dishes and you can paint.
That's true.
You get what you get, and you don't throw a fit. Hey, that hit Hamster right in the Midwest.
Yeah.
right in the general Midwest region of his heart.
That is true.
My favorite is when you know that Chris is building to something funny, but he has to like still take a 3-second pause before he can get there.
Okay.
Hey, comedy's all about
Timing. Oh God.
Might have to let this guy dry a little bit.
Yeah, probably. But especially with yellow pigments, I've noticed they tend to be kind of runny and
Yeah,
take a
it's
while.
stuck. Yeah, fight.
I like it.
Fight.
I hate
fight.
yellow.
Fight.
I don't.
paint stinks.
I'm liking some of the shades that's going in there.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like they because of that they don't tend to look flat very often, just
Yeah.
because the odds that they actually evenly apply in like a thick manner is pretty low.
Welcome to Thick Manor.
I bought this with all my money from Blurred
Wow, the
Lines.
setting of the new Resident Evil.
Oh,
See, there's no way this would work remote.
can't wait for that DLC.
Good.
Oh.
Ethan Winters thick version.
Yeah, Ethan Winters.
There it is. I was thinking it, but I didn't know how it would sound out loud.
And then you said it out loud, and I was like, I could have said it, dude.
It was good.
You know what would be a good Halloween costume?
What?
E-Girl Winters
It's pretty good.
or E-Boy Winters, either one.
No, I'm not okay.
Well, that was more for Miles than anything, because
I
him and Ame go on like I want to be an E-Boy kick pretty often.
So I pierced Muriel.
It's not why, but you know.
I see my cooking steak leading to a raid has now gone 2 for 2. Dude, if you can just keep dropping those steaks on the grill or on the oven, whatever you do it, wherever you're doing them, I hope you're not. Just don't broil them. Broiling is weird.
Broiling's a mistake.
Don't boil your steaks either.
By the way,
No
I just found
broiling,
out
no
today,
boiling.
Netflix is doing a Dynasty Warrior show.
Yep, I saw
Whoa,
that.
that's
I'm
cool.
very-
Oh, it's
Yep.
gonna it's
I don't care, man. I'm excited.
it's gonna be one episode over and over again.
It's the ending every single time.
Milk steak boiled over hard with a side of jelly beans. I hate that I'm actually not sure if it's genuinely a thing or if it's just supposed to sound weird in the back.
Mood.
Oh, welcome to my life.
My life.
I hate myself. I hate myself.
God. It's not expected.
So,
Appreciate it.
Somebody's
fuck around, guy.
Yeah. I kind of like the idea of leaving black streaks in his hair.
What's the word choke? Skyrim Fossils Love Child? I love it.
The drama. Oh, the drama. I'm in.
Okay, good. I'm safe with my microwave.
Step inception.
Good.
My Sunny fans would get my slightly off reference to the Charlie favorite meal. Oh, okay. Is there actually?
That's my favorite. Maybe the best joke I've ever made. I knew my knowledge of songs from Lion King too. Tim was finally coming in handy.
Christopher Nolan film.
Yeah.
Getting a case of the vapors.
Is there actually a plot to Dynasty Warriors? Yes, it's actual Chinese history, but just made weird.
Romance of the
Like
Three
that's the plot to
it's-
Dynasty
it's-
Warriors.
I mean, you know, it's the thing where it was like, it was a book, Romance of the Three Kingdoms, that was an attempt to talk of the dynasties' histories, but like in a narrative way.
It's like, what if history books were written like a fan fiction?
Right.
I mean, sometimes when you write the history books like fan fiction, it becomes the greatest selling
Sometimes.
Broadway show of all time. So
Sometimes it becomes what's actually taught in a history class.
Yep.
Let's go through America's greatest hits. One. We got
That wooden teeth thing, just somebody's like weird like.
I really want George Washington to have wooden teeth. just think that it would be really cool if you did.
It's like a self-insert situation. Just like, I had to have wooden teeth. You know what? I bet a lot of great men had wooden teeth.
Yeah, I bet George Washington
I
had
bet George
wooden teeth.
Washington had wooden teeth. And now it's in the books. You're a fan of Ronin Warriors, the old 90s anime?
Yes, I do remember Ronin. I had all of their action figures.
I thought it was just run around and smash buttons. Here's the thing. The Warriors games are like a guilty pleasure of mine.
Yeah, they're fun. I love them. They're just fun.
But like...
They're
They've
as
made-
fun as a Kirby game.
they
The
have
Kirby
made-
game is literally the. It's
They
just
have
running.
made too many of them for how little they've actually changed the content over the years.
I'm just saying.
I will
My Kirby metaphor is exactly correct then.
They at
I
least
mean, they
make
did
new...
pinball with Kirby.
Yeah, they
You
at
playing
least-
Dynasty Warriors
They were
pinball with
shaking
the
it
talk.
up.
Okay.
they at least make new maps with Kirby. The Dynasty Warriors, they will release a game that just, like it because it's supposed to be like, oh, these are the historical battles of the
I
Chinese
know,
dynasties.
I know.
They'll just do the same stuff over and over again.
I understand.
Warriors games were great
Sure.
couch co-op chill games. Yeah,
Yeah.
I sunk a ton of my time as a kid into the
Well, you
the
did it
Warriors
right.
games.
It's a guilty pleasure. It is a thing that I played with my brother.
High school, 3 a.m., hugely Mountain Dew fueled madness. Like, that is the perfect game for that. Like, you've been up all night because it takes no brain power. It just takes time and dedication. You're sitting around talking about whatever we talked about in high school at 3 a.m. I have no recollection.
my teacher hates me.
It probably wasn't that. It might have been, though.
Were you one of those kids who was worried that your teachers hated you?
No, I was not. I was never around them long enough.
I knew
That's
they
fair.
hated me. They would tell me.
Right. Yeah, so you got the worst of it. Oh, I remember you. You were
really
annoying. Oh, thank you. I don't have a.
Oh, you're the one that made me want to quit.
It's like, oh, I guess it didn't stick then, did it? You just double down on it, you know.
You just decide like, I'm going to. Why did I stop? Why did I stop annoying them?
Actually, turn it up. It's perfect color.
Yeah, I'm liking it.
I just want to. I think I might. I think.
You wanted to play the Zelda one? Dude, Hyrule Warriors is extremely good.
Yeah.
Both of them.
I've only really played it with you, Chris, but it's very enjoyable.
It's a good time.
That's the point. Is that it's like you can when they started branching out of Dynasty, and they did like Gundam and
Gundam
Warriors
Warriors
is
was interesting.
fun.
One Piece Warriors was good. Like when they got involved with other companies who were like, "Hey, we're invested in our property, not
other
looking
IP,
bad."
I would say like
Yeah,
other-
when they worked with other people's IP, suddenly I feel like the bar was raised with like, "Hey, we need you to actually work on this."
yeah.
Because there's the point where like it feels like they just kind of stopped trying with the Dynasty Warriors games. They just kept like releasing them to make more money.
100%.
I feel like Samurai Warriors was, generally speaking, better than Dynasty Warriors.
It was.
See,
Gonna play some Dark Alliance tonight. Cautiously optimistic. I haven't heard great things.
Yeah, I not the best. From some reliable sources. A friend who works at
Wizards is just like, we're gonna make a bad game.
no, he
My nephew works at Wizards. No, my uncle who works at Wizards. I know you literally have a friend who works at Wizards,
Yeah.
but you like saying those words out loud sounds like a lie. I know.
right. Well, he works in the magic area though. He doesn't work for.
Well, that's
Oh, he's the
cool.
magician.
He works for.
He's their
He's one of the in-house magicians.
he's their staff magician.
Sorry.
He's just there to keep the developers entertained.
He's waiting for people to
The
come
problem
to
is
the lunchroom.
magic only is limited to.
Did you just reference Family Guy?
I think I did, yeah.
Woof.
woof, woof.
Woof.
I mean, that is a classic joke. It's not
It is
just
a
a
That's
joke.
pretty
The song
cringe.
was the Family Guy scene.
The way you executed it
Yeah.
was Family Guy's riff on that gag.
We don't have to focus on this.
I don't know. I don't. This kind of changed the way I look at you.
Man, after all those years.
Now I have to look through the screen at all times. Seems like an interesting gradient. They have Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance action with RPG, ARPG, action with RPG elements. Dark Alliance. I think it was just like a bad. Is it a bad port or like what?
What do you mean?
Like what's wrong with Dark Alliance?
Okay. The thing that I've seen, heard, seen being actual game footage, and heard from people who've played it, my friends. Biggest issue is that there's a lot of level design that's very lacking. It's very simplistic. It's follow this hallway, get to a bigger room where you can have a fight, then follow this hallway where you can get to a bigger room where you can have a fight. So it doesn't have this sort of depth that the older Dark Alliance games had. I should say the previous ones from 20 years ago.
But if you like hallways and fights,
But it also doesn't have any of the like the character of like the Gauntlet game, right? Where it's like there's not like the traps. For some people, they're like, yeah, the traps are operating on a different level, so it's like you're game wise you're like 15 feet away from the activation point, but it's still hitting you.
oh, I hate that.
And that just seems more like a bug that they've kind of fixed. That's what my friends do. Like, yeah, I wasn't experiencing as many bugs as the other people were. But kind of the biggest problem is that like certain characters just benefit because of the way that they've populated their skills. So like the Ranger, for instance, she uses a bow, and it's like it takes up so much stamina all the time just to use all of her attacks, and so you just like end up having to wait a lot of the time in your fights.
Yeah, but
whereas the Barbarian gets to run up and he can heavy attack someone. He takes down bosses because it's like all you have to do is this, and you can box enemies in the corner pretty easily. There's a lot of these things where it's like it seems like over time you could figure those bugs out and work them. So I'm not as worried about those things. It's mainly the fact that it's like, yeah, the gameplay is pretty rudimentary. Like the AI of the enemies isn't intelligent. It'll just sit there and wait while its buddies are getting attacked.
But like Rangers being underpowered is just being true to the source material.
Very good. It's very good.
What they say, kids.
And I guess I just want to say that like any of the things that I just said or whatever shouldn't deter you from playing. Not that I think anybody's waiting on my opinion. I just mean to say that it's like in terms of games in general, it really depends. If it's your bag, it's your bag. It's the same thing with like 4th edition. Like all these people that are coming out of the woodwork and saying like, everybody slept on 4th edition and you gotta love it because it's all these things. Like, well, no, it's not that they have to love it. It's just that you appreciate it for the things that you liked about it. And I was saying this earlier today is that it's like the things I didn't like about 4th edition was that it turned every combat into a predictable sort of scenario / it made the entire game sort of closer to an MMO to me, where it was sort of like, I'm doing this to get an instance of gear. Like,
Oh yeah.
everything was automated to the point where it was like, okay, this magic equipment is a level 5 equipment, and that's what I need to get.
Sure.
But there's a bunch of stuff in there that like became 5th edition's combat that are really good. Like, I mean, like they condensed.
You could have a
skills.
sword.
They condensed skills. The entire like action, bonus action economy, short rest, long rest. That's kind of you can tell from a trial run of 4th edition, because there was things that like, hey, you can use this at will. They called it at will, encounter, and dailies. So it was at will abilities were things that you can use all the time in every combat. Encounter was you can use this once per encounter. So it was like, okay, cool, I have this until, I can use it, and then until the next fight, then I get it back. And I can use this once per encounter. And then you had your dailies, which were like, yeah, I can use this once per day. So it's like, it was an interesting system in that way.
Huh.
But the problem was, to me, was that that made it way too reliable to be like, yeah, I'm just going to use these things. It made the game, the options you chose as a character very specific. Where it was like, there's only one way to optimize this build.
Oh yeah.
And so it was like
Just like an
I can't-
MMO.
Yeah, it's like
They
I
have the
can't
top gear.
I can't choose anything else to be a cool character because it doesn't make sense because this ability isn't as good as this just categorically. And so it was like, why would I choose anything else? And so that's the problem I had with it. But there's aspects of that then goes to 5th edition when you look at like short rests, long rest. Is that it's like, okay, if I have this ability every short rest, that's cool because it's not every encounter that I get this thing. It's the fact that like I have to be mindful of this, and I can get rid of this if I know that, you know, down the line we're gonna need a short rest anyway. So I want it. Or it's stuff like an arcane recovery for a wizard is nice because it's sort of like, okay, I'll use this spell now, and you know I'll do this one too because those are the two that I would get back anyway when I tried. Sorry, that was a long spiel.
Oh, that's sweet because I wasn't really in the game at point, so I didn't really know much about it.
Well, it's interesting. It's like an interesting thing about it.
Yeah.
And Matt Colville has a lot of cool videos about it. He's got a whole series of videos talking about like games.
Did you mind cracking this phone?
No.
I need an actual model.
But and so like one of the other cool things about 4th edition was they had minions.
Ooh.
And minions were a really
banana.
neat idea because they were a 1 HP enemy.
Huh.
So it was a guaranteed player kill. Right? You still have to break the AC or whatever, but it was a guaranteed kill. And certain abilities in 4th edition were like, you killed as many things and you can do so. Or like,
Oh.
cleave was still a thing, so it's like, it made it so one person could like go up and kill like 4 enemies. But the difference was that they still had attack bonuses and they could still do like 1d6 in damage. So
Huh.
they can still hurt you if like 5 minions get up to you. Sure, they'll go down in one hit, but they can do up to 30 damage to you in one turn if they all hit you.
That's wild.
And so it's like, there was a nice sort of counterbalance to all those things.
You can have your Dynasty Warriors moment, like chopping
Yeah.
through.
Did you play Divinity? Yes, I have played Divinity. That one's really fun.
I've got it installed. I've been meaning to start it for a while, but
I played 2. I played 2 by myself because I was getting prepared for Baldur's Gate 3 with my friends, and they said Divinity 2 was
it's the same devs.
it's the same team, it's Larian Studios, but it was like it's a good way to, you know, kind of be prepared for like the game style. It's like, okay, cool, great. It's a very good game. I think there's some things that were unfortunate about Baldur's Gate 3's original release, but like, I'm excited to pick it up again when more things get done about it.
Have they added months yet?
No.
Did they fully release it?
No.
No. It's a
They're still in,
it's still a ways off from a full release.
but they have added druids.
That's fun. I'm not gonna lie, I have it early access and I haven't launched it yet.
No, that's fine. That's my point. Is that it's like I've tried. I played it with my friends when it first came out, and obviously there was a bugs galore, and that's fine. That was less of a pain point for me than like I was playing a rogue, and none of my sneak attacks were landing.
Yeah, I couldn't. I
Like none of my sneak attack damage was going through.
I
And
could
was
I
like,
could not figure out how to make sneak attack happen.
Huh.
Sneak attacks pipe dream.
So, it's an interesting point. Is that it's just like I played a lot of D&D, and I've played everything besides like original,
I really like 3.5.
and I really do. And I grew up playing 3.5. My biggest problem is it's just a numbers game. It just becomes crunchy, and I don't necessarily enjoy that.
But that's like the people that love it. Usually, that's what they love.
Yeah, and that's the reason that they show up. Is because they found the thing that they like.
Yeah. I even played. I very briefly. I played the Wizards Star Wars RPG that was literally just 3.5 with
Yeah,
the
it was
Star
the
Wars pin on
D20
It was
system.
pretty
but
fun.
Yeah.
It was fun to at least like going
It was fun to go back with a different lens and go back to 3.5 instead of a different lens.
Once played that game in Rochester, Minnesota, with one of the tallest men in the world. It's he's like Igor something. If you look up like tallest men in the world, just find like Igor. There's a few articles
literally?
of him. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So he was there because a lot of health issues being that large in Rochester's
Sure.
clinic. Yeah, I walk into a game store because a friend of mine's playing some tabletop RPG, and this guy Igor, who my dad knew because my dad worked at Mayo Clinic, was there. Who played some Star Wars RPG. They had a droid. They're like, this droid's in the party. He's an NPC. Do you want to play him? I'm like, yeah.
That's awesome.
I drew a gun on a guy during a conversation. Really check things up.
As a druid?
Droid.
Oh, droid. Got it.
I think like IG 88 style assassin, that sort of thing. Yeah.
Okay, you got it.
Okay, go.
It's good times. Good game.
Well, it's like you're saying, Hamster. It's like it creates a new perspective, but it's also like, yeah, it was basically just 3.5 but Star Wars,
Yeah.
right? So it's like,
Which honestly, I didn't mind it.
no, it's pretty.
I was
good.
kind of down for that at the time.
I think a lot of people came into tabletop,
Like specifically in our generation, there's a handful of people who came into tabletop when 3.5 was king. Like it's all they knew. Like that was like it was the tabletop RPG to play.
Yeah.
I remember like I couldn't have at the time even imagined what other rule sets would look like. And now there's so many,
spoiled.
there's so much.
yeah, it's an embarrassment of riches in terms of like fun and interesting different.
Like a huge thing too, right? Is that like you're young, you're attempting to learn a game, and so like the rules have to make sense, or you have to. How do I say this? You have to accept the rules to be able to like understand what's wrong with them.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's not. I don't know if that's really what I'm trying to say.
One of my friends, Elise, she refers to all tabletop as D&D. And so we were doing she wanted to do a one-page RPG stream. So we were doing one. She's like, "Hey, we're gonna do D&D tonight." I'm like, we're not doing D&D. We're doing a one-page RPG that is extremely different. It has like no mechanics in common. She's like, "Yeah, but it's like she's like, "Yeah, but you're like role-playing." I'm like, D&D didn't invent role.
No.
Like,
D&D stands for roleplay.
that's what the D's for. Role-playing and role-playing.
Don't say it.
I believe in you, Mom.
I have self-control.
I have self-control. Self-control.
You can imagine R2D2 with a gun because that's funnier.
Yeah, that's good.
Is there like only way to attack people like giving them a mild shock?
No, in Attack of the Clones. No, this is in
No, it's
Revenge
Attack
of the
of
Sith.
It was Attack of the Clones that he had the jetpack.
He had the
He had a jet
boosters.
propulsion.
Yeah, but I think he used it as an attack in the beginning scene of like the ship flight.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, because like oil spilled out over some droids and he floated away and lit it on fire.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was brutal.
Yeah.
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 Monstrous. R2D2 was a war criminal.
Well, you know, that's why he doesn't. That's why he doesn't say that he knows.
Clone War criminal.
That's why he doesn't say he knows Obi-Wan, and,
Yeah.
and nobody's like, I don't remember that guy.
I don't know him. I don't know
I don't know
him.
him. Hello, Obi-Wan. No, we have no association.
This guy's crazy. He's like,
We've never met.
he's been faking the beeps and the boops. He's like, yo, I don't know what this guy's. Oh, well, crap. Beep, boop, boop, beep.
Bye.
I love
Bye-
the
bye,
idea
Night
of
of the
Hamster
Phoenix.
playing R2-D2.
Remember the Beard Bros like dubbed over it, and they had they dubbed over the scene in was it Force Awakens where they awaken BB-8? Is BB-8 show up in Force Awakens or is that in?
He showed up in Force Awakens,
Yeah, they when they.
Oh, and he wakes up R2-D2.
Yeah.
It was in Rise of Skywalker is what it is because it's
Okay.
it's when they wake up that new droid. Hello.
Hi.
Keep talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're streaming. Hey. None of the cameras look that direction. That's fine. Well, I think only Tyler has seen this. They dubbed over somebody paid them to dub over that scene from Rise of Skywalker where you haven't seen it. There's just a point where they wake up like an old droid, like a really old model, and he starts saying like some like really extreme anti-human stuff, and Brett is playing BB-8. He's just like, oh no, he's old school like that. Don't mind him. Like it's very good. I'm delivering paper jellyfish to your wife's work party. See, it just sounds like you're being a good person. Like I wouldn't worry about it. Let's see. I've decided that my sister's gonna be a lioness because I had the paints ready anyways. So this is.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's fun.
It's like how she's starting.
Yeah, looks good. Can't hate that.
Oh! Yeah. Can't really make a ton of details. Basically, she's got like the cool. Well, not really shaved because like she's still covered in fur, but like her mane is growing
like
half on
like
one
an
side, like on the
undercut
other.
sort of thing.
Yeah, like what Sombra Overwatch has.
I love some
Of the New Hampshire Overwatches.
Sombra Overwatch with the New Hampshire Overwatches, yeah.
You can see you can literally hear me like run a couple of drafts of that on the way out of my mouth.
Yeah.
That bit. There's a good like a false starter too, in the 2 syllables before it got out.
We go with the dark green cloth for her cloth armor.
Paint these mushrooms.
I think just earth tones, dark green and brown. I think. I'm gonna be doing like padded, a couple pads, like padded leather armor.
Almost tiniest bit of bread. It's way too much. How dare you do this to me?
How
Your
could this
pants-
happen to me?
Are your pants betraying you, Alex?
No, this is one of Chris's. These are yours, yeah, the Reapers.
Yeah.
Oh, Chris's pants are betraying.
Yeah.
Oh.
My paints long ago betrayed me, and
Oh,
I hate
sure.
them for it.
I'll never forgive them, but that's fine.
Thought outside, this is arduous. We need to have an Overwatch channel on Discord. I don't know if we can justify having just an Overwatch channel on our Tabletop Terrain Company Discord. Maybe we could have a video game section. I don't know if we can do just Overwatch.
You put together a company Overwatch team, Chris. You're gonna coach.
Yeah, I'd love to get back into coaching Overwatch teams. That was a well spent year of my life that I got a lot out of. Anyone wants me to tank their SR, I jump into your games. Nah, I'm perfectly capable of doing that myself.
Yeah, and Chris has me as well, so he doesn't.
I had some really. How much competitive did you even
Not a lot.
play? Yeah.
Pretty much, I would bring you with me to get placed, and then I would play a little bit and get stressed out and stop. So because part of it is that I'm being placed higher than I should be because I bring you with me.
That's fair. We have Magic the Gathering? Yeah, but that's still related. That's Wizards of the Coast. We can't do a just Overwatch channel. And also, technically, it's a card games channel, not just Magic.
Yeah, you could talk about
So I forgot Overwatch 2 is a thing.
Is
it
it?
happening? Yeah, Overwatch 2 is finally happening.
Wow.
I think they said 2022.
Was it? What do you think of these mushrooms?
I don't know. For how long they've taken with it,
You
it,
could
it's-
maybe glaze it.
it better be a
Just a-
big thing.
Just a really thin. Just use a lot of water in the paint and then do like a filter over it.
Man, I need
Kind of like a
green,
wash.
but-
Basically like a wash, but like be more controlled. Just like you don't need to drown it. Just do it a little bit at a time. It's basically the same dilution.
I need a green that's really gonna stick here. And then I'll put the other stuff over it. Oh, you'll be the tank in Overwatch 2. Sad it's 5v5. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the taking away a tank thing. Platinum tank
the
fighting
heck, yeah,
DPS, gold
like-
heals.
Cool.
I'm diamond heals. I'm currently high plat because I've had a bad season, but I've been mid diamond. Problem is I went a long time without playing. Also, the problem is like with support, it feels like support is the role where you have the least control over whether or not you win. That make it easier for new people to jump into it if 2 is done well. Overwatch is sadly slightly intimidating to new players. Yeah, I think the problem with that, and I don't think this is gonna be fixed in 2. I think the problem is just that the community is not
Kind.
Yeah, and I don't know how you fix that. Like, it's kind of just the reality of competitive games as a whole. Not in like a, oh, you better get used to it. Just in like a thing of like, it really sucks that it's like this. But like, I've got some friends that I would love to play competitive with because I really like, I like competitive Overwatch. I think Overwatch is at its best when you've got like an actual competitive game going. But man, the odds that you run into somebody who's just going to make you feel terrible, unfortunately high.
Yeah, I basically quit Valorant because of that.
Yeah, I have a really hard time getting most of my friends to play comp just because it's hard to start learning. Like they get mad and it's like they literally just started the game.
Especially
Like-
a game like that where like it's pretty, it's a mature game at this point. So like the
Yeah.
people playing it are super high skill usually. So there's like no people to kind of come up with.
Well, the problem is there's a lot of theory. That, like
Yeah.
it's super easy to know the theory at this point because there's tons of coaching material. People have been playing it for years, so like they feel like they've got a super solid grasp of the game. And they're still in plat. So you've got these people who aren't actually that good, who have watched a lot of videos and have spent thousands of hours, like, trying to get better at this. So they feel like they're super competent people. And they will actually be around the same skill level as some of these newer players.
Yeah.
But the newer players will, like, not know some things because they haven't been around for years.
Right.
And then they'll just get absolutely wailed on. And it's like, man, there's got to be more important things in your life than...
Hey, can we nerf Sombra's emotional damage?
Sounds like League of Legends too. All those long multiplayer games. Any mature multiplayer game.
It happens with any competitive, like, focused game,
Yeah.
generally speaking. It's really unfortunate. Yeah, Will couldn't get into it because, you know, he had literally just started playing the game. He's playing Mercy, and like
That's tough to start. Being a
being a
healer.
support. Well,
Yeah.
so the problem is people will blame the supports before anything else.
Yeah, right.
They'll they will always blame supports for their bad positioning.
Yeah.
Like, it annoys me to no end how often I'll be on Ana, and they will go into like a room by themselves, and it's like nobody can see you with it, and they'll get absolutely ganked, and they're like, "Where are my heals?" And it's like you went into a room by you put a wall.
Leroy Jenkins.
Like you put a wall between us. Like I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when I jump in and I'm playing a support, and they tell me I did something wrong, I don't know enough to know that it's their fault, you know?
Just played a ton of Lucio. Yeah, Lucio's one of...
I liked Lucio, but I didn't play a lot, so.
I like Lucio because I wanted to play Titan, because I wanted to be playing Titanfall 2, but the community in Titanfall 2 got way too good, and I was just getting destroyed. We played that like twice together, I think?
Yeah.
It was like me, you, and a bunch of your friends I didn't know.
Oh, that's
It was-
right!
It's
Yeah,
good.
that was like our main game for a while.
Lucio is one of the most consistently fun characters to play, I think.
His movement slaps.
Yeah.
And he's playing his music all the time.
Yeah.
It's extremely rare that he's not meta. Although he's not very meta right now. This is one of the only times where like it's really not a great idea to play Lucio.
What did they do to my boy to make him non-meta?
They didn't do anything to him. It's just right now none of his abilities are really helpful for the way you're supposed to play the game.
This is what I hate about competitive games. You
They
can
change.
correctly say phrases like the way you're supposed to play the game.
Yeah.
And it's not just talking about like the rules, you know? Like,
Pinfall 2 is very good.
Yeah, it is a shame when they add really cool fun stuff, but the balance of it just won't allow certain things to be played.
yeah. I just want a game that's like Titanfall 2, but like PvE.
Sure.
Like, you know, like you can just run around the city, like running off walls, grapple hooking stuff with your buds, and like you're fighting. Like you can make it tough. Like maybe you are only people and you have to kill a bunch of titans.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't have to deal with another human being who's been playing nonstop for the last 3 years, so I will never have a chance.
Right.
I remember playing Gears 2 with someone online, and after wiping the floor with this kid with the sawed off, pissed him off. He PM'd me to talk trash. Don't think he expected my zero tolerance to just report everyone. Yeah. I think if you're great with the hero, it doesn't matter if it's in the meta unless you're in the top tiers. Yeah, and like that's the thing is, the problem with playing Lucio is what I find happens if I try to play Lucio right now, is like it's pretty much impossible to play with the team, and like feel like I'm really doing anything. Like it's hard to feel like I'm actually having any kind of impact when I play Lucio right now.
I think Gears was my first experience of the truly toxic community.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so like the days of Halo 3 when I was my first foray, and I think a lot of people's like main game where it was like online multiplayer. And that's when the lobbies were open. Like now everyone has their private parties and stuff, right? And they'll DM each other. Well, maybe not in Overwatch where you're getting and like horseback. But like that was when everybody was on the mic, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you were just as likely to meet friends for the night as you were to like get the jerks. In those days, it felt like. Maybe that's just my memory of trying to be nostalgic, but
Yeah, that I didn't play online games until I got a computer. Really.
oh,
I
sure.
didn't
You
play.
know, like growing up, I never hooked up a console to the internet.
Sure.
It seemed like a hard thing to do. Like, and I don't think it was that hard, but it felt like it was going to be difficult. You know?
Like the PS2's online was not the easiest or best time.
No, it was awful.
It's a piece of garbage.
I think we agree with. I love playing Lucio. Him my go-tos for healers, or just they killed my girl Brig. Brig is still meta, but you have to get to the higher tiers for her to be meta. That's the thing. Is like everybody's like, oh, this is killing Brig, and it's like she still played a lot in the high tiers. But yeah, in low tiers you're not going to see her as much because the things that made her. That's the funny thing is what the nerf that they did to her made her less effective in lower tiers, but didn't really affect her high tier play much. Which is kind of funny.
Chris is saying get good.
No, I'm just saying like the reality is like the game changes as you go up through the ranks.
That's what's really funny about it, isn't it? Is that it's just like everybody's like, oh, you made my favorite. You made the character that I was winning with impossible to play. It's like no, it's just changed. Just, they adjusted it slightly to hit the.
Excuse me.
Sorry, chat.
Excused. Get out of here.
Hi. Please don't leave.
They let her burst heal way better, which is great, but when your party doesn't cover you, it doesn't matter if it's 400 shield or whatever is worthless. Yeah, so the reason she's better at higher play is she benefits really well from coordinated team play. You're not going to get that in lower ranks. Like, her management of her resources is like where all of her power is in, and it's about taking the engagements in the right place and all that, and you're not going to get your team to do that in the lower ranks. In lower ranks, you're better off with more self-sufficient heroes, like Mora. Like you're better off with playing people who don't rely on the team playing together to stay alive. So, if you're trying to climb, it's easier with Moira. It's easier with
Ketones.
Mercy. It's easier with Lucio.
Carabiners.
Like Roadhog is super good and is always super good in lower ranks. But when you get to a high enough rank where everybody understands that you just have Zen put a Discord orb on him and everybody blows up Roadhog immediately, like, then you can't just like play Roadhog all the time anymore. In fact, you can probably like never play him. It's really a different game when you go up in rank. I wish I had aiming skills to be Ana, but I know my limits. I cannot hit anything. I'll switch between having incredible games with Ana and really awful games with Ana, and it depends entirely on how the rest of my team fights. She has the ability to be self-sufficient in that she has a sleep dart to take care of things if she gets dove. That said, if the other team is authentically actually diving you well, you need a team that can actually peel for you, or you're not going to be able to play Ana. My aim isn't great, but it's good enough for the rank I'm at, which is why I'm at the rank I'm at. But yeah, it depends on how they play. If they stay in my line of sight, it goes great. Based. Sleeping a Genji / Slumber is the best feeling in the game. Dude, sleeping low rank blading Genjis is the easiest thing. Because you know when they go up and they get their nano, they're going to pull out their blade and they're going to dash straight at you. So all you got to do is look at them and hit the sleep dart, and they're going to run straight into it. Like, they haven't learned at that point that what they need to do is dash to the side of you or dash above you. Like, they just go straight for you.
Like, this ain't high noon. It's not quick draw, you know?
Yeah. See, it's really fun to dunk on low rank Genjis. No, it is, because Genji players are also the ones who will then get mad and start typing stuff in chat. That happened to me. There was a Genji who was talking crap the whole game, and I slept him when he dashed straight towards me after a blade. But like he bladed and he dashed straight towards me, so I got the sleep on him because he went straight toward me. So it's like I just gotta look at you, and you're gonna be going in a straight line from where you are right now to me.
Right.
And I slept him, and then he just started typing like while he was
Things
asleep.
he will know.
Yeah, while he was asleep, he kept typing like, "Oh, lucky shot," all this stuff and all this stuff. And I'm like, I just told him, I was like, "Dude, don't dash straight towards me. What are you?" And so he goes to blade again, and that was the funny thing. So it was like, well, that's what happened when you don't dash above me. So he blades again the next time, and he dashes straight above me. So I sleep him again because I know exactly where he's going. And it was
God,
very
that's
fun.
funny.
Yeah.
Any of you guys have a finer tipped brush that I could use?
Probably.
This one's not all that fine tipped.
I need to get more. Most of the brushes I use, I've got pretty bad. I don't really have to tip much on it anymore. How fine do you need?
Finer than this.
Oh, that's easier.
Yeah.
Are you just doing a small detail?
Yeah, I'm just doing that. I'm doing the water in here, so this is gonna be great.
My party will wake up the sleeping ulting Genji with a weak attack. Yeah, that Winston just comes over and starts tickling him. That's always great. Starting with the Browns. What time is it? 7:25? Nice. I can definitely finish her tonight.
This brush is awesome.
Thank you, I made it myself. Suck with Junkrat and Lucio because they're fun. Junkrat's one of my favorite DPS for sure. It's hard to use him in most maps, but like if you get on a map where like you have to put him through a choke, it's so. If you know where everybody's gonna be, you can get a lot done. My favorite is taking out Pharah with Junkrat. That's always a great feeling. You launch yourself up into the air and get close enough that you can like direct hit her, and then you throw your other mine and finish her off. Good time. I'm getting decent with McCree. I'm not a good Widowmaker. The problem with Widow is I tend to jerk my hand right before shooting for some reason.
Get really into it.
Yeah, like I get like I don't know what it is, but I can't like stay calm when aiming as Widow. I think like the one
You
shot
do that.
thing.
You're.
Not that even.
Oh.
No, I watched you play.
But like I flick way better with McCree, and I think because it's not like a one-shot mentality, like it's easier for my flicks to actually be like towards the target as opposed to. I think the problem is like with Widow, I'm not flicking. I'm tracking, but then I'll flick like right before the shot goes off, and it's like you were tracking. So now that you flicked, like you've gone off the person you were tracking.
I too know these terms.
Tracking and flick are the two general kinds of aiming. Tracking is you're following them like smoothly. Flick is right before you shoot, like you just like flick the mouse over, and you try to do a. So like with Tracer, like you need tracking. With Soldier, you need tracking because it's a constant fire, so you need to be able to like match their movement speed and keep the reticle over them for a period of time. Flick is when you're doing basically burst damage. So like McCree, Ash, Widow, generally speaking, you need to flick aim with them because you're getting shots off at a slower rate.
Flick aiming sounds like the thing that like someone who's trying to write a script about video games who knows very little about video games like learns about flick aiming and decides it's like the secret weapon of gaming. And it's like the thing that the main character needs to learn how to do in order to become like the best. Like it's the thing he needs to master before he can like win the tournament at the end of the game.
Right. It's like the blast processing of an Ernest Klein book or something.
Yeah.
Like you must master flicking, and all the gamers watching are like, yeah.
Yeah.
What else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's other things.
Wait, that's it.
But you must master flicking, and that's when the gamer girls take over. Love McCree, but no one likes how I play him because my aim is so bad. I play him as a troll to stun and ban the hammer. Hey man, it's a valid strategy. When we get our pro gaming Discord channel, we'll have to see. I mean, I assume a lot of the people in the Discord probably play video games. I don't know. Drunken Bastion are some of my favorite cheese characters at my low skill levels. Bastion is a lot of fun. When it's just really hard to find a good time for him. Very much a run and gun player. I hate sniping. Yeah. Having a gun in person? Yeah, we have.
I do love Soldier.
It's a shame that he's one of the worst DPS in the game now.
I understand. This character I actually mostly understand how to play. So what I did the most, so that's why.
That's the thing is he's one of the best characters to like when you're learning the game, because if you played any shooter before, you're he's basically just COD, you know.
I did like what's his name? Healer.
Lucio?
No.
Zen?
No, with B.
Baptiste?
Yes. Baptiste.
Yeah, Baptiste is pretty good. Baptiste is super strong right now. They keep trying to nerf him, but it's never in a significant enough way to get rid of him. The fact that he has an immortality field is just kind of a busted thing in general.
I think so. If you put in a thing called an immortality field, that's bound to run into some balance issues.
I do like that it's just called Lamp. Like that's the competitive call out for it is Lamp.
I love Lamp.
Let's see. Oh my! Remember the Bastion pirate ship meta? Yep. Man, I every now and then I still try to do a pirate ship. It's a lot of fun. It's still, it's still like the Hail Mary in overtime. Hate his restock muzzle rise. Hey, if you can account for his weapons kickback, Baptiste is basically a DPS. I think that's the thing, right? Is if you do main Baptiste and you get to the point where you get it in your muscles to counteract that the kickback as you're firing, you can do a lot of damage. Baptiste is a very easy hero to climb with if you get good with him.
That's
Some
a lot
good
of
old
damage.
PUBG shooting.
That's a lot of damage.
And a lot of healing. Like he's got just like incredible output on both ends. That's the thing, like with Zen, like you're getting damage but you're kind of sacrificing healing.
Incredible output on both ends is what happens when I'm Chicago now.
Glad you're here, Miles.
Thanks. Glad to be here.
I had a game on Blizzard World last night where we got 2 points by C9. It was wild. Like in a row. Both times they just decided not to fight on the cart. And so while the fight was happening, we just walked it in. And it's like, how did you not get hyper aware of letting this happen when you first let this happen 2 minutes ago?
You know, people are stupid.
That'll do it, actually. It's a good point. It's a very good point.
You have an advantage in a lot of like online games, where when you do win, a lot of times people
Don't think it's their fault. So they're like, well, we gotta fix this so we don't lose. And then every single person won't change what they're doing because they assumed it wasn't their fault they lost.
Yeah.
it's like one of those cool, fun parts about gaming.
I like video games.
I love video games. Video Jimmy is not good though.
It's me, Video Jimmy.
I was gonna say Video James is my older brother, which is very like Johnny Karate.
Please,
Whose older
call-
brother is Jonathan Karate.
Great.
Johnny Karate's full name is Jonathan Carrot Top.
I love when Carrot Top changed his name to do martial arts movies and became Karate Top.
I love when
Karate
Carrot
Top.
Top changed his name to Snoop Lion.
Snoop Leon. Oh,
It's
no.
me, Snoop Leon Kennedy.
Kings of Snoop Lion.
Oh boy. I'm gonna throw some red on here. Why not? This doesn't make any sense.
Still waiting for Earth Tone 3 to be brought to the US.
That'll be the day.
Let's go with the deep red.
There's that one. This brush is not nearly thin enough to paint this water. Luckily, I'm just painting a clear nail polish on this. So if it gets up on the rocks beside the water, it's just like those rocks got wet from the water. You know?
There you go.
Can I say rocks not wet?
No way.
Rocks
when
wet.
I'm spitting this out, it tastes like
What?
fruit.
Rock's wet.
Rock sweat.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, the room now smells like nail polish, y'all.
It's okay.
It's good for my sinuses.
Well, it's not good.
We made the entire place smell like Thai food last night, so
Nice.
Man, that smells good.
yeah, that was that. We got some kind of spicy stuff, and that definitely
Not per me.
Thai food is just so good though. Sorry for eating Thai food, making you all jealous.
You did, man.
You could have gotten Thai food if you wanted.
You didn't offer to anyone else besides you and Nate.
Well, I'm not gonna buy it for you. I'm saying you could go get your own Thai food if you want.
That's fair.
Reasonable. I like that. I hate it. Unfortunately, I think I'm done with this piece. I don't love it. I don't dislike it, but it's, you know, it's not extra enough. Y'all want to see my piece?
Hey, that looks cool. I like the bright water.
It's okay, he's holding.
I'm gonna make that bigger. I'm gonna make it bigger.
Appreciate. I was gonna say you should just move it off screen.
Yeah, I'm gonna fix it.
Yeah. You know, not really anything exciting going on in the back,
But there's a lot of party in front.
it's a party in the front. There's some of these fungal things I did in gold just to kind of give it a different, like, you know, bit of flavor. I do like how these mushrooms ended up turning out.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah,
I used clear nail polish on one project and then quickly had to switch products just because of the smell.
I get that. We paint our nails a lot in my household. Me and my wife use it a lot. So I'm just like,
Oh my god, we can actually do my wife jokes!
my
We
wife.
can actually do those!
I actually have one. Got one of them wipes. Heard so much about.
Really incredible. Because like shipping's like messed up right now.
Oh my god. Jeez. Oh dear.
It's funny shit. That's some funny shit.
Yeah.
I'm having issues finding the light. There we go.
When do you think the actual? So when do you think the part of the wedding that's for everybody else and not for you happens?
Oh, the actual wedding. But yeah, so we're hoping sometime next year, but we haven't actually been able to start the planning process. That's our goal though, sometime next year. We're hoping for fall, so probably about a year and change from now. Like a year and 3 or 4 months. You got plans for then?
3-4 months?
Yeah. No, a year and 3 and 4 months.
Oh.
Yeah. So 2023? No.
Breath of the Wild 2 is gonna be out by then.
The fall of 2022.
Still works on quick play. Yeah, everything works on quick play though.
Got him. You roasted quick play, bro.
I play a lot of quick play. I'm just saying, like, pulling off a pirate ship in competitive is always very funny.
Yeah, I'm just trying to feel included, you know? It's just...
And do you think I'm about roasting people?
I roast peppers, potatoes,
And human beings.
human beings.
Realizing I'm hungry.
My secret, Iron Man. I'm always hungry.
Let's see. Ugh.
Excuse me.
Excused.
Thanks. That's nice.
Well, thank you for excusing me. Not every day that somebody actually responds. Usually just left hanging and I'm like, I hope I got excused. I asked for it. Nobody said anything.
Then I die.
And die. Secret tunnel.
Secret tunnel. Through the mountains. Just a break of the blockiness of this, maybe your red pants.
I love red pants. I almost bought a pair once, but they just did not work for me. Not my vibe. Hugely disappointed. 9 out of 10. Don't buy pants, but recommend them for someone. I'm not the one.
Let's grab these. Man, painting around this table.
I said painting around this table. I was like,
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make it weird.
We need a bigger painting table. It's just weird knowing that somebody here has a wife. Nice. Let's see. Look at this. Okay. Everything went better than expected. What?
what do you mean with also switch camera?
Oh,
Sorry,
well,
friendos.
well,
Oh, were they looking at the cool spinny thing?
Yeah.
yeah.
That's sweet.
Extended turntable view.
It's really good. Yeah, we spent good money on that. We should make sure we
Hamster needs to do a commercial for this Lazy Susan stat.
Big Lazy Susan guy over here.
I love Lazy Susans.
Could not recommend it enough.
Turn the table and things move.
Love that.
You don't turn it, and they just stay where they are.
But you always know that you could if you desired it.
That's my
Power
Susan.
is in your hands.
Much like Nintendo.
You ever want control over the laws of physics themselves? You ever want to be able to say, I decide who spins?
Look at me. I'm the spinner now.
I'm the Gyro Lord.
Oh lord.
Gyro.
Not to be confused with the Euro Lord. That's a
Yeah. Right.
very different business. Although there is a lot of spinning involved there.
Those meats.
Yeah.
Meats. Or a rotisserie thing.
I would love for my job to just be carving lamb off of that rack. That looks like a lot of fun.
Satisfying.
We should get one of them in the office.
Oh man.
One of those
Awesome.
guys who does that.
No, one of those Euro racks. We can cut our own. We can cut our own meat.
Yeah, it doesn't sound very sanitary.
I mean,
You just gotta learn how to use
I'll
it.
wash my hands.
Yeah, we have hand sanitizer. That's fair. Yeah, I don't really trust the sign there.
Yet again, Tyler decides we can't have nice things. It's my job for you to be miserable.
I'm the fun police.
And the Skittles police?
Yeah.
Man, that's messed up.
Well, are Skittles fun?
Yeah, you right.
What about yours?
It's kind of messed up that the fun police aren't just more fun versions of the police.
Well, no. Tracks.
I think it'd be great if just like, oh man, the fun police are in town, and it's like a carnival.
Whoa! Remix!
For any Dr. Mario fans out there.
What a bop! What an absolute bop!
It's a banger and a half.
That could be in any number of songs.
No, that's the transition back into the.
Oh, okay. When we started off doing that thing, I was like, are you doing like Taboo's theme from Smash Bros?
Sometimes when I'm sitting at my desk, you know what comes in my head?
What's that?
I don't know what this is.
No.
It's Gauntlet.
Yeah. Yeah.
The original Gauntlet 2 theme song.
Hey,
But it
Kodiak.
also makes me think of ActRaiser.
Oh. ActRaiser was so good. When are we gonna get ActRaiser? Well, we do get ActRaiser 2. When are we gonna get ActRaiser 3?
As I've said 1,000 times before, Christmas. I want a Crystallis remake.
Love the Jurassic Park meme song. Which one's the meme song? Just the title?
Just the one that's done in our like a bad
Really bad
recorder.
recorder. Yeah.
That is
Well,
cool.
there's the 20th Century Fox one, and then there's the Jurassic theme.
Those are both good.
Jurassic Park theme is wild. It's also very funny to hear it and then think like, yeah, this is for the movie with the dinosaurs killing everybody.
Only a couple dinosaurs.
Yeah, they're out there killing everybody.
There's a piece of some two. What kind of logo?
Ooh, Cal, I love those pools.
I poured out some silver and I completely lost where I poured the silver at. Oh no, it's in the cap. Right. It wouldn't pour,
No cap.
so I had to just take the cap. No cap. That's where meme song randomly plays in your head. Love hearing ActRaiser name dropped. Dude, ActRaiser is so good.
Yeah.
I wish we got. I genuinely. I wish we had a game that had the concept of ActRaiser, but done with like everything we know now and all the technology we have now.
What is ActRaiser?
ActRaiser is a Super Nintendo game where you play a god. You have an avatar. So it has two modes of play. You have a sim where you have to like help re-establish your presence. You've been asleep for like 1,000 years because you were fighting a dark god and you lost, and now you've recovered enough to actually like wake back up. And so you have to go save your people. You have to save the world. And so to do that, you have to garner power by fixing and helping direct all of these people's lives. And so there's a sim where like you show them what road to build, and it's basically just like get the population as high as possible, fight off monsters, find areas of conflict and defeat them, and so that way your people can live. And there's one other aspect to the game, which is like a side-scroller action adventure, which is you control a statue, which is your avatar, and you go through and you like hack and slash adventure. That's always how you enter an area. Anytime you like go to a new place, you have to defeat the monsters that are in a certain area, and so that's called Act 1. And then you play the sim portion of it, and then have to get to the place where you get Act 2, and then you fight a boss at the end of Act 2. Actually, you fight a boss at the end of Act 1 and 2, but like then that place is saved, and then you move on to the next place. It's very fun.
That sounds super interesting.
It's a very fun game, and you get like super magic. You get like special magic powers when you go very specific ways, and
It's very hard.
yeah, the platforming part is very hard. Like the platform action part of it is rough because it's just like you only have so many things that you can do, and the hitboxes of all these things are tough. But the sim part of it is fairly easy and simple enough that you
Yeah, sim part's not hard, but the ending, I've never been able to get past the ending. You have to do a boss rush.
It's so hard.
There's this ridiculous boss rush at the end.
I remember.
Thank you. That's all I've been doing. Is
I remember getting
Thank
to
you.
the last. I remember
Do you have
getting to
any
the last
green I
one.
could use? There's only green wash in here.
I had one left, and then until you like fight the main boss, the main final boss, and I lost. I was stupid, and I was like, I am not going through this again.
Yeah, that's the main thing is you have to get through it with like such limited resources. You have to be able to get all the way through it, and it's hard.
It is yet another game I played because of my brother. Many of the things I do growing up, so Stefan. that's who got me to D&D. It's who got me to Lord of the Rings, Legend of Zelda. He didn't like Breath of the Wild. Chastised him for it.
Unbelievable. I think those people exist.
He's just doing it.
Talking about Mega Man? No, ActRaiser. Should probably talking about Mega Man.
I love Mega Man.
Yeah.
Mega Man's good. They got good musics.
I don't know that I have the same reference for Mega Man that I have for ActRaiser though. That's because there's so much Mega Man and there's a lot of games that do the stuff that Mega Man did and it had such a large influence. It feels like ActRaiser happened and then like, where's all of our ActRaiser inspired stuff? I don't know.
Yeah.
It feels like we haven't really.
You're right. I don't understand how that game got made. Unjummed.
You want to play Fox and Nandu? No, I haven't heard of it. Oh man. No, but I don't know where it came from. I haven't even had exposure to Dr. Mario recently. But there's fever, like always. Stuck in my head. What'd you expect? It's nighttime.
I also have the condition where, like, I can't not respond to a song.
That's totally fair.
I mean, it's also how we lived together.
Yeah. Ugh. Getting close to done with her. Well, then there's the
Because
base.
we're nearly out of time for you guys.
754. Yeah.
No. It's been such a chill time though.
Yeah, I really enjoy doing this. That's the thing, right? Is like the whole thing with these streams is like it doesn't really feel like work. This one is just like let's hang out.
Yeah.
Hanging out.
Oh wow, he's got it too.
Miles is the only one who understands, man.
We all knew that. We all knew I had that.
Man, where's our sequel to Legend of Dragoon?
For real.
I mean, somewhere deep.
I mean, at this point it'd be a reboot. You realize, yes?
Yeah.
You'd have to.
How have they not even done like an HD re-release or something?
The target audience no longer knows what it is. Yeah.
Well,
We ain't it anymore. We're no longer the target demographic, y'all.
No.
I know. I feel like I wasted my years as the target demographic.
Why can't they make video games for me?
you know, men.
I don't understand. Do you understand what it feels like to be left out?
This was all we had. This is everything we had left.
This was my identity.
I like how you both sound like that like bad impression of Goofy.
Like that intentionally
Oh yeah.
like bad impression.
The one
Miles,
that
you want me to sound more like Goofy?
the one that
I
Brock
don't
Baker
know,
does.
honestly.
The one that Brock Baker does.
Yeah, I think so.
You think this is funny?
That
That
one,
one,
like,
that's the one.
never get Disney Plus.
Oh, well, you get Disney Plus. Nah.
Yeah. I don't know why, but Goofy's like my go-to voice for a lot of things.
What do you guys think of this
No, I know.
moss?
Why?
It's my favorite
Cool.
movie.
That's a cool
like,
color. I like
it's
that as a
not
little
even a
pet style.
mystery.
Yeah, I felt like adding some highlight in there. I started with dark.
It's
Oh, I was gonna say Goofy was in the.
It looks like
No,
really
I was-
verdant moss instead of like kind of icky seeing.
It's got all this fresh water back. What do you
Yeah.
think of my moss?
What do you think about Boss? Oh, that looks really good, actually.
I wanted to find random details that I didn't need to
Elizabeth,
throw in
okay.
there. Yeah.
There's
There's Elizabeth. There's Elizabeth.
There's Elizabeth.
Didn't we? I think we talked about this hamster. We were both in My Fair Lady, yes?
No, we were next to normal.
Well, we were.
I was not in My Fair Lady. I was not with you on that. I'm sorry. I don't know what you just said.
I thought.
Wait a little bit.
Wait a little bit. But,
Wait a little
I
bit.
should know My Fair Lady better, I guess, but I don't.
It's a barely known musical.
Taming of the Shrew. The music.
People know that it exists.
That one's Kiss Me Kate. That's not My Fair Lady.
Pygmalion is My Fair Lady, which
Yes.
Pygmalion is Pygmalion based on Taming of the Shrew?
There might be some elements of it, but no, they're very different things.
Okay.
Yeah, no, there is a Taming of the Shrew musical.
Kiss Me.
It's Kiss
yes,
Me
I
Kate.
know.
Okay.
But true, Peter. Yeah, what was the song that like every baritone sang in that show?
Which one?
Kiss Me Kate.
Oh,
You know what song gets stuck in my head every now and
I
then?
remember. I was never in Kiss Me Kate, but I mean, yeah.
Is it Aaron's Party? Come get it? 'Cause that's mine.
What song gets stuck in your head, Chris?
Every now and then I'll just get the I'm just a girl who can't say no.
No, actually, I relate. Yeah.
Yeah, from Oklahoma.
Jesus.
A show that I've never actually seen.
A show that's garbage.
A show that I've never actually seen, but I heard like 2 women sing in an audition once, and that was it. And for some reason, that got that song permanently stuck in my head.
Can't say no.
The best
Okay,
part
I
about
don't-
that song is usually it's pronounced paint, which is just so fun to hear. Oh, I'm just a girl who can't say no. Which, hearing it, like how many times it's repeated in the song, doesn't get grating at all. It's a lot. It's enjoyable every single time.
Uh-huh.
Wow. Okay.
Miles only has specific feelings about that song.
It's the only thing I have specific feelings about that song and my wife. Those feelings are low.
Person in existence.
Oh man.
is Miles.
I
never know
really
what you're gonna get on this
appreciate
stream.
in this moment.
I really appreciate that when I reached out to Sasha Baron Cohen, Sasha Baron Cohen, and was like, "Hey, bro, I'm gonna be getting married soon. If you can make another Borat real quick so that I can make
nice.
my wife jokes, that'd be really nice." And he's like, "Got you, fam," and he made a
You know,
second. Borat.
ironically, I was already thinking about it.
Yeah. It's not ironic.
he really did do
It's like
it.
the Alanis
just for
Morissette
me.
of ironic. You know what a metaphor is? It's like a hat with another thought's hat. It's a thought with another thought's hat on.
With a little bit. With a little bit. With a little bit. Oh, love. With a little bit. Oh.
I watched,
Technically church on time.
watched Hook last night.
Oh,
Banger
that's a
in.
classic.
It makes me cry.
Oh yeah.
Same.
You know what?
When
I
he's-
just listened to Hook by Blues Traveler.
Very fun, Chris.
Good song.
I believe it. I believe you. I believe in you also.
I think my thing with it is that it's that scene where he's reaching for his kids and he can't reach them.
He's just so scared.
I'll do it.
And yeah, and then later the son's like, he just didn't try. It's like, I feel your pain, kid.
I feel that.
I feel it. I feel it, kid.
Now I have the dang Oklahoma song stuck in my head.
How's it gonna be?
That was not it, but yeah.
Oh, is it not Oklahoma?
Can you imagine the band just starts rocking out?
Classic Oklahoma song.
Yeah.
Don't waste your time. Ready to voice inside my head.
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, when nobody comes to me, no play.
I love the idea of.
Everybody's left the chat at this point.
I feel like we don't have anybody watching it anymore.
That's good. I could shine in front of audiences.
Don't
Is that
waste
lying?
your time on
I mean, it
me.
is 8 o'clock though.
Oh yeah.
It's probably time to start wrapping up.
All right, Chris, what do we got this week? Next week?
What do we got next week?
Same
Well,
old.
we got the Dungeon Dudes.
Oh, nice.
On the Anvil. Their Kickstarter launches on Tuesday, and then the very
Oh.
next day, it's their very first Kickstarter. Twice this month. Some of our friends are doing their first Kickstarter, and then they're coming on the Anvil to talk about it.
Oh, that's exciting.
I guess I shouldn't say coming on the Anvil. I should just say coming on the Anvil.
Hey, there you go.
No, don't say that.
Oh. You know,
Good catch.
Yep. I was too innocent for that one.
Good catch. I'd have missed it. No.
Well,
That's all the time we have tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
So, yeah, next on the Anvil, we're gonna have the Dungeon Dudes to talk about their Kickstarter, and then also just DM and game prep in general. Nate and Monty have a very good rapport, so it should just be a fun, weird conversation. They got a good amount of history. They're also like big Dwarven Forge supporters as well. They know a lot of our stuff. So if anyone's got any questions for them, I know a lot of people watch their YouTube stuff. They've got a pretty comprehensive, good YouTube show. We'll be doing that next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Way to go.
And then we've got the hobby hang again, and maybe we'll have different people.
Yeah.
The nice thing is,
People that don't hate me.
I mean, I'm not a miracle worker. Yeah, because the nice thing is, with this setup, what we're hoping to do is feature a bunch of different people from the office, just being able to come in and paint and craft and just have casual conversations and talk to you guys. And
Even Nate said today he wants to hop in. One of these days.
Yeah. So,
If that's possible.
What are Nate's hobbies?
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything I've known you.
it's like, yeah. So while you guys are painting and sculpting, I'm gonna LARP in the background.
Yeah.
That's the hobby I'm doing.
Actually, be very funny to watch.
Yeah, I agree.
If I could think of a way, I'd be doing it right now. I don't.
So that's basically all of it. I don't know if there's anything else to really tell people about. Pretty much everything we're doing is stuff that we can't talk about yet.
There you go.
So I think that's the main thing. But
There's no beans.
maybe catch some C2 sculpting. I don't think we're gonna work on anything that is for Kickstarters on the show.
On this show? Probably not. This is more the actual hobby stuff.
This is
You
supposed
are,
to be.
more than welcome to work on work stuff here, but like as long as it's.
I think
not.
this is generally supposed to be like an escape from doing the work stuff
Yeah.
and getting to do like the personal stuff, the stuff that helps you relax.
Right.
Imagine if I was started blocking during this.
Yeah.
Like,
yikes.
you guys want to see me make an armature? Like,
So this one has to be a perfect 1 by 1 by 1 inch square.
Oh, we need 0.5 millimeter cut off of this.
let me just measure this. Let me just measure this block of clay. Start shaping it off. People can join us in Critter Spoilers on for the Hobby Hang after show today.
Ooh.
Right. Tonight.
Is the first episode
First
of the
episode of
8-episode mini-series of Exandria Unlimited over on Critical Role.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, they start at, I believe, 7 p.m. Pacific time, so that's 10 p.m. Eastern.
Okay.
Yeah,
Very
basically
excited.
about 2 hours.
Nice.
I'll be watching and hanging out in the. We have a specific channel for people who watch Critical Role, the Critter Spoiler Zone, where if you want to watch live and you're not worried about and you want to like talk to people, we made like a separate channel so that you wouldn't spoil it for people who don't watch live.
Yeah, there's a Critical Role channel which is people like talking about the show, but then like Critical Role spoilers is like specifically either during the actual episode that's going on, or if like you really want to talk about something that happened and you don't want,
Yeah,
just kind of like keeping it safe, keeping it secret.
Yeah. I guess real quick, let's just show our final results. And,
Yeah, normally I try. It's a fun challenge to try to get a miniature done. Oh no, he
Did you
fell
break
off
it?
his base, but
Oh.
no, the glue
That
job wasn't
definitely
breaking.
sounded
But
much
I
more
just
crunchy.
I just did the cloak today. I only worked on the one bit, and it was kind of a nice
That's
phase
really
to be
good.
That shading though,
patient.
Yeah.
like
I mentioned in the Artist Alley Discord today I was watching some Richard Gray videos, so I was kind of just working up from
Who's
the
Richard
black
Gray?
and layering. He's just like a master painter. He's won Golden Demons and a lot of other contests and stuff. And he has a YouTube channel where he's one of those guys that like doesn't post regularly, but when he does, it's really good.
Okay.
So I was kind of inspired by him and just using a small brush and being patient and
Yeah.
just enjoying the process. So it was fun. I'll definitely finish this guy in that spirit, I think.
That's cool. What do you? Well, yeah, let's see what you did.
Well, I have a brief question for you.
Yeah.
I like how the moss turned out better in this one than in this one, but I can't tell why. Can
I
you?
can't either.
No.
I like them both.
All right.
What in
oh,
particular?
that's the most mom
That's
answer.
the issue
No, but
I'm
that's
having.
the thing is, you know, like
I love
you see it
all of
differently.
your
Like I think
creations
they both look
equally.
really good.
I'm not sure. I look at this and I
You
think it
said
works
the moss
better.
in particular, right?
Yeah, the moss in particular, I like it better in this one.
Well, let's
And-
put it
but
on.
I'm not even
Let's ask the
sure.
chat. Let's ask. Is that okay? Let's ask the chat.
Yeah.
He's talking about the little moss patches, which I really like how these differ from a lot of Dwarven Forge moss, because, like you said, there's this really bright, fresh water by it, and so it's a little more like minty, verdant, as opposed to like swampy, icky moss.
I wanted it to have just like a little more depth, just because especially because there's no texture to it necessarily,
Right,
so it
right.
all has to come from the color. So like,
Well, one difference I'm seeing is like your area of highlight is a little bit larger relative to the area of like green than on these, right?
okay,
So it's probably just like popping to your eye more because of that. But I almost like this for that reason of like it's a little more subtle,
yeah,
you know.
okay.
I think
Okay.
both ways would work over a bunch of pieces. It would just be your preference.
Okay. I couldn't tell you what the difference was, but I thought there seemed like one. So that's
Said
It's
yes,
good to know.
yes, Moss. What's the question? They're wondering which one of these is the best.
Well, here's the saying. He said he prefers this one, and he doesn't quite know what the difference is. And it looks to me, at least, that just the area of highlight is a little larger and pronounced than on this side. But I was just saying, I think you could do either way depending. It's not one's right or wrong, but I think that's what the main difference is, and that's why it pops out a little.
these are my pieces.
Yay!
It's in this. You know, I tried to make it needlessly complicated, as needlessly complicated as I could. You know, in Dwarven Forge tradition. Yeah, you know.
You know, Miles hasn't been here long, but he gets.
He gets in the groove.
All moss is good moss, especially Randy Moss. They are different shapes. So
Oh, we got him in a
Moss.
Stone Boy. We
Hey.
got him in a Stone Boy.
Yeah, remember when we fired him because he was such a
Yeah, but I there's so much of my childhood where I didn't pay attention
right.
to sports, but I heard his name all
You just heard his name.
all
I
the
had a
time.
pendant of him, and I didn't even like watch football all the time. I was just like, "This is the
I had a
guy."
credit that he signed. He
Oh,
came
that's
into-
crazy.
He was at a Menards in Rochester, Minnesota. We showed up. My dad brought me. And I'm like, I don't know who this guy is. Like, it's Vikings. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, we like the Vikings.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
Are you ready to show your progress?
Look at all these chickens.
Look at all these chickens.
Our chocobos.
Still working on the base, but I think I'm gonna finish her probably before I leave the office because I'm very close.
Nice.
Yeah, this is progress on my shifter.
It's fun. I love the little detailing you got to do on the bow holder there.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
bow is definitely the best part of the model so far. I made her pretty simple. I need to get in. The face is definitely the worst part. As always, can't do faces.
So it's gonna be like a water base or something, like a.
She's standing like over a creek.
Yeah, that
basically,
looks
so it's
cool.
gonna have like some stone and dirt
Nice.
patches that she's standing on.
Yeah.
So I want her to be like a forest hunter, so it'll be like a forest creek.
Awesome.
It's a general idea. Moss Isley is pretty nice.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Definitely one of my
I'm trying to
favorites.
get half of this thing to show it off.
Oh, the one good side. Just get one good side to
No,
camera.
it's more like, you know, this is what is there, so that like the actual part of the sculpt is seen better.
Oh, sure.
I'm really clear to see if these actually.
There we go. So this is what I did. This guy.
Nice. I love the color. Man, you really did get a nice bright yellow, which is, I think, very hard.
Yeah, but
Yellow paint is hard, but you nailed it.
and you use the two colors really nicely. It just have like
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
depth to it.
Right.
You know?
That's what I was trying to do.
Yeah, it looks
I
really cool.
I think I might have to do another. Wash of the orange,
Sure.
so that like it because I wanted that orange to kind of like, I don't know, darken up some of these things, and I used the lighter highlighted yellow on the top of the wing. You know,
But
like,
what's also really cool is the yellow, it leans kind of cold.
Yeah.
And the orange is really warm, and so they really.
that's what I
opted
mean. It's
next
like
to each other.
that's what I was excited when I saw those
Yeah.
colors together. I was like, oh shit, like that's why I was like the base yellow when I was like, oh, that seems a lot different than I was thinking it was going to be.
Yeah.
I was like, it's fine actually, because it's still different enough from this like you said, the warm orange that I was going for on the different parts. And I also like the little sword that's on there. I got to do the little detail.
Oh,
on that
yeah.
as well.
What silver are you using?
This filigree silver.
Oh yeah, that's what I grabbed. I really like that more than like the blade steel.
So this is what I'm saying. Is like this thing right here is the rope, and so I was just like the
That's-
harness, and so it's like under all of the, and so I want to keep the feathers on there too. So it's just delicate work there.
I need to thank you specifically for this method.
Oh, yeah.
The wrists together, it saved me so many times in my life. It's everything to me when I paint.
Yes, of course. Listen, you honestly don't need steady hands to paint. You just need to like
Yeah.
learn the
Points of
points of
contact.
making your hands steady.
Yeah, it's really helpful.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
it's go ahead.
What excites me is that like, especially you guys and so many people in the office like started painting over the past year or so, just in general. So it's been fun to see you guys, crank stuff out.
I'm glad I started learning right before the pandemic started.
Yeah.
Well, that was how we started, because we had our stream game, and we were like, hey, we want to paint our Hero Forge minis Hamster. Can you come and
I actually thought of that, and I thought of Bridget tonight because I was having a really hard time mixing the color that she wanted. She wanted this like really rich maroon color,
yeah.
and I saw like it was a combination of an article and some videos, and it clicked in my head. I was like, "That's how I should have mixed the maroon." I'm sorry, Bridget.
My proudest moment of painting is on that miniature and it's like on this mini, which I would change some of the color scheme if I could go back. But the one thing I'm so proud of is on his one visible eye, because he has an eye patch, I managed to paint the eye perfectly white. And I went in there with like a single hair from the brush and painted like a pupil on his eye.
Yeah.
And I was so pleased. And I still look at it to this day when it's in front of me. I'm like, man, that's awesome.
That is amazing.
Like-
You know what? That is even a case where even when you have your points of contact, you can see every little millimeter of movement.
You're like,
And it's like
sniper
surgery.
holding your
Yeah.
breath.
Your heart's going. You're like, oh, bullseye. Yeah,
Well,
when you
it's
nail
the,
it.
it's the trick.
Yeah.
It's the trick of painting that I never got in school, which is just the steady, not so steady, but the light hand. The
Yeah.
lighter the touch,
Well,
the kind of like easier control you have.
especially on miniatures where there's so little surface area that like you don't need a lot of pressure, you don't need a lot of paint, and you know, just to get used to that is something I'm still need.
Well, thanks for watching, everybody.
Thanks for joining us in the production room. I'm so excited we're doing it here, man. It's just so cool how it worked out that you guys were just around and hopped in. Like, that's exactly what we want the spirit.
It's a really good idea. It's
Yeah.
like it's just like a really awesome, fun idea to try to do it here.
Yeah.
That was never the problem. The problem was having things ready.
It's like super awesome all the time.
It's like really cool and good.
All right, everybody, have a good night.
Super easy to talk shit when you're the person to have to set it all up, figure it out.
Fight! Fight!
All right, they're gonna fight it out. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.